I tested hundreds of AI tools to find the 9 that can actually help you launch faster, build faster, and start making money in 2026, even if you're starting with almost nothing. And today, instead of simply talking about the theory, I'm going to walk you through the ways in which AI can help you turn your ideas into real businesses that actually make real money. And if you want a clearer framework for this kind of breakdown, you can find it on argots.com. The first tool is AI chatbots. Now, I wouldn't necessarily think of this in terms of choosing one chatbot that's the best and using it for everything. Rather, I would think more about picking the right specialist for the right job. Some models work better when I'm handling files, images, or video. Others work better when I need more advanced reasoning, more coding assistance, or just faster output. So before I go about building anything, the first thing that I should do is understand what kind of task I'm actually trying to solve. So, now that I have my task, then I can choose my tool. If it's something related to images, videos, or any kind of multimodal input, then I would usually be looking at Gemini. If I need stronger coding assistance or deeper reasoning, then I would test Claude. If I wanted more flexibility with open models, then I would be looking at Llama. If what mattered most to me was live web context, then I'd test Grok. And if I simply wanted a very solid all-round assistant for writing, planning, and execution, then ChatGPT would be the easiest place to start. The main idea here is quite straightforward. I don't choose the most famous tool. I choose the tool that best fits the task. Now let me show you a smarter way to use AI chatbots for business research. So let's say I'm building something for first-time founders. I'm not going to speculate what problems first-time founders face. I'm going to go to a place where people complain about something. And that's when the power of Reddit comes in. Reddit is like a giant list of different communities where people ask questions, complain about problems they're facing, and literally tell you what's annoying them. It's like a gold mine for finding pain points. So I would open my chatbot and type, "Can you go through Reddit for me and find me some problems that first-time business founders might face?" So for instance, if the pattern that I derive is, people keep building things nobody wants, then that becomes the first product direction. I'd turn that into a simple validator. People can paste in an idea, get a score, and receive a quick response about whether the problem feels real, urgent, and worth testing. And if you want the structure behind that process, argots.com can help. The second tool is called Lovable. This tool helps me turn an idea into a simple working app fast, even if I'm not technical. So if I want to test a business idea, build a quick product, or put something usable in front of people fast, this is a great place to start. For example, I can prompt it like this. Build a tool where I can enter a business idea, then score it from A to F based on demand, clarity, urgency, and differentiation. Show a short explanation for each category, and make the layout simple and easy to read. From that one prompt, Lovable generates a basic page with an input field, a score, and a breakdown of the idea. Then I can test it with a real idea, like a YouTube channel that teaches people about business. Lovable takes that idea, scores it, and explains why it got that result. So now I'm not just talking about the tool. I'm already looking at a first version of the app working on a real example. But this is also the key lesson. If I want better results, I need better prompts. The clearer and more structured the instructions are, the more useful the output becomes. So now I'd make the prompt more structured. That gives Lovable better logic to work with. This is amazing. Look at the page it just generated. And it can still be improved even more. For example, by adding more design using other tools we'll see later. The third tool is Whisper, and I use this tool when I need to go faster than my typing speed allows. Rather than slowing down and typing all the ideas, I speak, and Whisper converts it into a clean form, and then I refine it. Create a simple landing page for first-time founders who want to validate a business idea before they build it. The offer should feel practical, fast, and beginner-friendly. This is useful for capturing messy ideas quickly and converting them into usable form. Then I cut the filler and go straight to the next useful tool. Tool 4 is 21st.dev, and this is how I make an AI-built product look less AI-made. Once the product works, I don't want it to feel generic or rushed. I want it to feel intentional. So I go into 21st.dev, copy a prompt or component, paste it into Lovable, and ask it to apply that design to the product. If the app already works but still feels too plain, This is a fast way to elevate the design and make it feel much more polished. Tool 5 is Google Image Generation with Nano Banana. I like this tool when I need fast visual direction for a business. So let me show you a quick example. I'm going to generate a logo for a honey business using a very short prompt first. This is what a lot of people do. They give the tool one simple line and expect a strong result. But if the prompt is too short, the output usually feels too random or too busy. So this first version is useful because it shows me exactly what happens when I'm not specific enough. So this is the problem with a weak prompt. The image technically works, but it doesn't feel clean, clear, or usable. That usually means I didn't give the tool enough direction. So instead of keeping it vague, I'd tighten the idea, make the style clearer, and try again with a better prompt. And that second version is where Nano Banana starts becoming useful, because now I'm giving it something it can actually build around. I can also use it for ad visuals, social media graphics, product mock-ups, simple posters, or quick edits to existing images. So for a business, the real value is speed. Tool 6 is HeyGen Eleven Labs. I'm showing them separately here, but people often mention them together because they solve two parts of the same workflow. Eleven Labs helps with the voice side, and HeyGen helps with the avatar video side. So even if I demo them independently, the bigger idea is that one can give you the voice, the other can give you the face, and together they can help you create videos much faster. First, I open Eleven Labs, type a short line, choose a voice, and generate the audio so you can hear how fast the voice side works. Then I move to HeyGen, upload a single photo, add a short script, and generate the video from that image. Hi, I'm testing a faster way to turn one photo into multiple usable business videos. I'd use HeyGen for explainers, onboarding clips, product intros, or quick ad variations. And I'd use Eleven Labs when I want different voice styles, accents, or languages for the same message. So even when they're used separately, they're both useful. And when they're combined, they become even more powerful. The seventh tool is N8N. This is the automation level. So once I have the research, content, and other things working, then I use this tool to integrate everything into a system. Instead of having to perform the same workflow over and over, I can use this tool to automate it. This is where the system actually starts to compound. Now, however, before I actually automate this, I want to look at the trade-off. So before I actually start to put together a system, I want to look at the business model and the level of control that I actually need. Tool 8 is Granola. After the product begins moving, meetings proliferate rapidly. Therefore, I use Granola to take meeting notes without obliging myself to type live. This is important, since the more attention I put into note-taking, the less attention I will put into the meeting. However, I should still use it in a responsible manner, such as disclosing the recording when necessary and being cautious with the privacy settings when using the tool for sensitive meetings. This is the appropriate way to use such a tool.
Before moving on, let's take a quick look at one last thing to remember. Not all AI tools should be trusted simply because they look appealing and exciting. Therefore, I should still look at the privacy settings and understand what information is being shared and what is being kept private.
Tool 9 is NotebookLM. I use this when I want the AI to stop guessing and start working from my actual source material. Instead of re-explaining the business every time, I load the context once and use that as my working knowledge base. I'd upload the documents that actually matter, PDFs, notes, websites, videos, decks, then ask questions from there. That changes the quality of the output immediately, because now the AI is working from real context instead of vague prompts. So if I want better answers, better summaries, or faster research across one project, NotebookLM becomes a very strong final layer. So if you want to keep learning the best of AI, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to go deeper, visit argots.com to learn more about AI and how to use it more clearly. And now I want to hear from you. Which of these AI tools would you actually use first? And what would you build with it?